Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Yes. So, in the last class, right? So, in the previous class, we have seen like what is a web. Okay. I explained about what is a web, and I said web is a part of internet or restricted access on internet is called web. And I said web also called as World Wide Web, or it is also called as a W3. And I said web is invented by a person called Tim Berners-Lee. Okay. And here web standards are maintained by a non-profitable organization. And what is that organization is called? W3C. And what is W3 stands for? World Wide Web Consortium. And these standards, what standard defines some set of rules and regulations, or it defines some set of rules and guidelines for developing web technologies or for developing web applications or web sites. And I said current version of web is Web 3. Okay, now these standards are followed by all the web technologies. Okay, and I said what is a website and a web application? I said a website is a collection of which resources? Static resources. So that can be web pages or images, videos, and what? Audio files. A website, in website, end user cannot interact. A website is what here? Read only. So what is a web application? I said web application is a collection of static resources and dynamic resources. In web application, end user interact with the application, like where he can give inputs and where it generates some outputs like that. So web applications required some programming at which side? Server side. Okay. And after that, I said softwares required for developing web applications or website. I said you need to install one editor, and what is that? IDE VS Code, which is called as a Visual Studio Code. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So where you develop the code and test the code and execute the code, right? After that, I said you required certain extensions within the VS Code, and you required VS Code icons, and you required IntelliSense CSS, and you also required one live server. I said, what is a server? Is a program or software. Server is a program or software which serves resources to one or more than one client. And server works based on two things. One is a request and one more is a response. Yes. I said there are two types of servers. One is a local server and one more is cloud server. And I said local server, a server installed in a system is called a local server. If application is installed in local server, it is accessed by only one person. Cloud server, installing web application or website and a cloud server which allows, it is nothing but making this application as a live, means accessed by all the people. So which allows web application go live and it is accessed by entire people worldwide. Okay, that is deploying in which server? Cloud server. And after that, I said directory structure of web application or website. Web application or website is a collection of programs or resources, and these resources are organized by following some rules and regulations. Now, every project must contain how many folders? Two folders. One is a public and one more is a SRC. And all public resources are stored inside what? A public folder, like images, videos, audio, docs. Generally, even you put this HTML, CSS. Okay, CSS, you try to put CSS actually in what? SRC. JavaScript also you put in what? SRC. It means public will contain which resources? Static resources. And SRC contain what? Dynamic resources. Public is having static resources. SRC is having what? Dynamic resources. Okay, this is what we discussed in the last class. Okay, up to this, is it clear, everyone? What is a yes or no? Are you installed? Or install the VS Code? Okay, or you install all the extensions, VS Code extensions? Okay, what are the extensions you installed? VS Code icons, IntelliSense CSS, live server. Okay, live server. So created one directory, created project or not? Creating project is nothing but you need to create one folder. And inside that folder, you have to create how many folders? Two folders. One is a public and one more is SRC. Okay. So generally, so every project will have so many files. Okay. Project is a collection of files. A project is a collection of resources. And you don't put all the resources in one place. You try to divide that resources according to their operations into a number of folders. Okay. Organizing, creating folders are nothing but organizing. You are organizing the files according to their type. You are organizing the files according to their type. If I want to insert or if I want to place images, I just place the images in one folder. Suppose if any image is missing, then I'll try to search in which folder? Image folder. So maintaining your project becomes what? Easy. If you are trying to organize it by dividing into what? Folders or directories. Yes. By dividing into folders or directories. Okay. So now whenever you're talking about a website, whenever you're talking about website, so website contain lot of resources and you try to organize all these resources by creating some folders. Not only this project. Suppose you are working with a .NET project, you are working with a Java project, you are working with a Django project, any project you work, you find so many programs in your project. You must organize all those programs according to their types, according to their operations by dividing into a number of folders. That is called as a directory structure. Sometimes they may ask you, explain the directory structure of web application. If somebody asks you, tell me the directory structure of web application. So web application directory contain two folders. One is a public and one more is a SRC. One is a public and one more is a SRC. Okay. Suppose if anybody asks you, now question is like this. The question is, okay, explain directory structure. Explain the directory structure of. Explain the directory structure of web application. Okay. So web application, you can say web application or a website directory structure. Directory structure. Okay. Directory structure is directory structure is divided into divided into two folders. Okay, but this may increase when you add more. Okay, one is called which folder? Public, and second one is called as which one? SRC. So public folder contains which files? Static files or static resources. Static files are static resources. Okay. SRC folder contains which resources? Dynamic resources. Dynamic resources. What are these static resources? Images, audio, video, right? All this you find docs. All this you can find in which folder? Public folder. Okay, now SRC folder contain dynamic resources like you put what? CSS, you put what? JavaScript, you put what? Java. Okay, all these things you find in which folder? SRC folder. Okay, I think if you are working with advanced Java, you find in your project SRC folder or not? Yes. So this is Standard data structure of any web development. One is a public and one more is what? SRC. Now, generally, if you are talking about, yes, SRC is a dynamic and public is for what? Static. Okay. Public is for static. Okay. Then suppose if the question is asked, if the question is asked here, the question is, okay, what is, if the question is asked, what is website? Generally, what is website means, okay, technically, I'm elaborating it. I'm elaborating this definition. Okay, website or your web project. Okay, this website or web project, a website, generally, a website or web application, a website or web application is a virtual directory, or path exists inside what? Web server. See here, a website or web application is a virtual directory. SRC means source. SRC means source. Source code. Okay, I'm saying website or web application is a virtual directory. Virtual directory or path exists inside what? Web server. Virtual directory. What I'm saying, it is a virtual directory or virtual path. It means in web application development, you access your website content by using virtual path. You access it by using virtual path. Virtual means what? So there is a virtual path. Okay, there is a virtual path here. There is a virtual path and there is what here? Physical path. You have a two paths here. One is a virtual path and one more is what? Physical path. Physical path means, what is a physical path? Physical path. So what is the meaning of physical path? So what is the meaning of physical path? Physically means physical, it is exist. It is exist, that you call it as which path? Physical path. For example, you are developing a project. See, yesterday we created a project or not? Yes. We created one website or we created one web project. So what is the name of my project? Tell me, what is the project we created yesterday? Flipkart. We created one project or not? Yes. So what is the name of that project? Flipkart is a project name. Okay, now this is a project. So where this project I created, or where this project I created in one place or not? Yes. I created in one place. You'll say no, website. Site means, what is a site? Location. Site means what? Location. Okay. Website means, it is a site means what here? Location. So where your web application is located? Where your web application is located? Your web application is located in which system? Local system. In local system in one place or not? Yes. What is that place? E drive or D drive or F drive. That is called as which path? Physical path. That is called as which path? Physical path. Physical path means where your web project is created inside the disk. Inside the disk, in which location it has been created. That you call it as which path? Physical path. But are you accessing your web application using physical path? No. Suppose what you do it, you open the browser. You open the browser and what you type? Will you type D colon backslash like that? No. You type what? www. What is this? Amazon.com. What is this? www.amazon.com is called. What it is called as a URL. You'll say it is what? URL. But this is called which path? Virtual path. This is called as which path? Virtual path. It is not a physical path. It is what? Virtual path. Getting on. So website is nothing but what is a website? Website or web application is a virtual directory or path Exist inside what? Web server. Okay, now there are two paths are there. One is a virtual path and one more is a physical path. What is a physical path? What is a physical path? Alright, tell me, what is a physical path? Is it physical path is exist or not exist? Exist. It is a location where all the resources are saved, saved or stored. That you call it as which path? Physical path. Local directory. Yes, it is a repository or it is a local directory where all your application resources are what? Stored. That you call it as which path? Physical path. Okay, so physical path means a local directory. It is nothing but a local directory or a location where all, okay, where all application resources are what here? Stored or saved. So that you call it as which path? Physical path. A local directory. What I'm saying? A local directory or location or place where all application resources are stored or what? Saved. That is called as a physical path. Example is, okay, you may store in which drive? D drive. You'll say D colon backslash. What is this here? Flipkart. It means Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart. It means now your project or website is created in which drive? D drive. Okay, but are you accessing your project by using D colon backslash Flipkart? No. This is a physical path. This is what here? Physical path. But you never access your web application or website using which path? Physical path. Why? If you are giving this physical path, what will happen? The end user can do some changes or not? Yes, he may delete the resource. He may delete the resource. He may copy the resources. He may do a lot of things or not? Yes. So this physical path is not given. Which path is given? Now this physical path is not given. Which path is given? Virtual path is given. Which path is given? Virtual path is given. Okay. So what is this virtual path? Okay. Who will create this virtual path? Okay. So this is a virtual path. Okay. Virtual path. So physical path is not given. Which path is given here? Virtual path. Virtual means which is exist or not exist? Not exist. You call it as virtual, right? Virtual reality. Okay, virtual reality and virtual reality. In real it is exists, but virtual it is not exists. That is called as which one? Virtual here. Okay, so there is a virtual path is there. Okay, yes. Lost listening, all of you. Okay, yes. Headphones, sir. Somebody is using no, right? All are listening, no backside. Okay, understand what I'm telling you? Are you getting or not? Okay, these are the basics. What I'm telling you is the basics. I can start the HTML directly, no problem. I can write HTML, body, head. But why you are writing, you should know that or not. Yes. So all these are what here? Basics, which you must aware of it. If you don't know this, then you don't know web development or web application development. Okay. Yes. Some people, they don't know what is a physical and what is a virtual. But where your website is running, your website is installed in what? Web server. It means web server will serve your web site or web application. But how you are using that website from your hard disk? You are using directly, na? No, you are not using same direct path. You are trying to use one path. Which path it is called? Virtual path. Okay, this virtual path. So always, always a website or web application is accessed using which path? Virtual path. So this virtual path, if you go your website as a live, okay, if your website is a live, then who will create that virtual path? Okay, the virtual path is created by providers. Okay, where you are hosting it. You give the virtual path, means you give the virtual path is nothing but what here? URL. What is virtual path is called? URL. URL stands for uniform resource locator. It means you are telling my resources are there in this particular location. Okay, my resources are there in particular location. That is called as a URL. Technically it is called which path? Virtual path. Okay, now suppose in your system it is there in which drive? D drive. What is the name of this? Flipkart is a folder. But how end user is accessing it? By saying www.flipkart.com. How end user is accessing? www.flipkart.com. This is called which path? Physical path. Okay, this is a physical path. This is a physical path. But this you are accessing it by using another name. And that name you call it as virtual path or URL. But who will provide this virtual path? Okay. Who will start this? Or yes. Okay. Who will provide this virtual path? Suppose if you are moving or if you are making your web application live. Live means you put on which one? Cloud. Then you create one domain name or virtual path. Okay, you give the virtual path name. So service providers, internet host providers will provide what? Virtual paths. Okay, you host it. But after hosting in the cloud, then how it is accessed? Okay, you hosted, means you copied your, what is that project from your local system into what? Cloud. You copied from your local system into what? Cloud. In cloud also it is stored in one location or not? Yes. That location is which location? Physical only. That location is what? Physical. From cloud, how you access it? You need to create one virtual path. And that virtual path is called what? URL. That virtual path is called which one? URL. Which is called as Uniform Resource Locator. Suppose that is if you are moving to live. If it is a live, then you have to create a virtual path. But if it is a local, you don't create any virtual path. So who create the virtual path? Local server. Who will create the virtual path? Local server only. That virtual path, you don't create it. That virtual path is created by which server? Local server only. Always a website or web application is accessed using virtual path. This virtual path, this virtual path, this virtual path is called, this virtual path is called which one? URL. What is URL stands for? Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, locator or location. Okay, anything you can write. Locator or location. Okay, but this virtual path is created. This virtual path, this virtual path is this virtual path is created when web application is when web application or website go into what? Live. But who will create this? Okay, so service providers are you create. Suppose you want to make your web application live in by putting in what? GitHub. Then you give what? Virtual path, which is nothing but which name? URL name. You give the URL name. But if it is a local server, notice, local server, virtual path is created by whom? Local server only. Virtual path is created by whom? Local server. You don't create any virtual path. You may ask, right? Sir, I created application. How can I access it by saying www? You cannot access it by saying www because where is your application is in local server or in cloud? Local server. It is in what? Local. Then you cannot access it by saying what? Www. Okay, that virtual path is always you create it when your application move into what live. Okay, na. So local server, if it is a local server, this virtual path is created by whom? Local server. Just see here. Just see here. Now, yesterday we created project or not? Yes. This is my project. This is my project, right? Now just click on go live. Here you have option, right? Right side. See at the right side. Right side. Here right side is there. No. What is there? Go live. Which one go live means where you go live? No. Which one is go live? Web application. What is your website? Flipkart is there. I want to make my site as what? Live. Live means I should access by what? From browser. I should access from browser, right? If I click on go live, what happened? If I say go live, what happened is it is opened your website or not? Yes. See here, your website is opened or not opened? Open. So what is this? What is this here? URL. Is it this is physical path or virtual path? Virtual path. What is the physical path of your project? Where is your project in? E drive UI module 9 AM. That is which path? Physical path. But this is which path? Virtual path. How you access it? By saying 127.0.0.1 colon 5500. What is this here called? Virtual path. Same thing is called as URL or not? Yes. Now your web application is having how many folders here? How many folders are there? Two folders. One is public and one more is SRC. Is it opened or not? Yes. Getting or not? Okay, this is a virtual path. Okay, what is this 127 dot? What is this 127.0.0.1? This is called as a, tell me, what is this called as a, what it is called as a IP address. This is called as an IP address. IP address. You call it as IP address, right? What is IP address? What is IP address? What do you mean by IP address? IP address. Every system in internet protocol address. Okay, every computer or every device or every system within the network identified with one unique number. And what is that unique number is called IP address. Okay, na? So in where your server is running, server is one system or not? Can you tell server is one system? What do you say? Yes or no? Server is one system, right? So what is the address of your server? What is the address of your server in the network? What is the address of server in your network? 127.0.0.1. So any system, if it is not configured with any IP address, by default, it is given one default IP address. What is the default IP address of any system? 127.0.0.1. This is a system. Which system? Server system. Now this is my system, right? Server is there in the same system or some other system? Same system. Can you say this is server or not? Yes. What is the IP address of this server? 127.0.0.1. Next you have what? 5500. What is this 5500 is called? Port number. This 5500 is called which number? Port number. Port number. It is the same. See, until unless you don't assign any IP address, by default, there will be one IP address. Address. You have an address or not? Yes. You'll say, I live in this location. I live in one location. Okay, that is house number. Is called as which one? Address. Address. Where you live. That you call it as what? Address. Now, where is your server? In one system in the network or not? Yes. So, that system is having one address. And that address is called which address? IP address. IP address. Then next is what? Port number. What is this port number here? This is 5500. It means Within the server system, every project is run on particular port. For example, I have a multiple projects. Okay, I have a multiple projects. Okay, and every project run on a specific port number. For example, address is one. Suppose one apartment is there. Apartment is having some address or not? Yes. Within that, you have so many flats, and each flat is having one number. Each flat is having one number. In that flat, some people are living or not? Yes. Here also same thing. Within one server, how many projects you can have? In one server, how many projects you can have? One project or more than one project? More than one project. Then if I want to run multiple projects, each project is given one, each project is given one number. What is that number? Port number. Each project is given one number. What is that number? Port number. Is it port number must be unique or not? Yes. Two projects running in the same server cannot give the same port number. Okay, na? If two people are living in one apartment and same flat number means conflict or not? Yes. I want to go to 101 flat. Two people are having 101. Who's my friend? 101, 101. Two are there. Conflict is there, right? Okay. So port number must be what here? Unique. Understood? What do you say here? Yes or no? Okay. So just here, what is this is called which path? This is called as which path? Virtual path. Who created this? Server only. You don't create it. But when you go live, means if you host in cloud, then you give one name like www.amazon.com, like that. You give a name and you access your application resources. Okay, na? Right. So remember this. Now, my question is again, question comes here is, okay, what is IP? What is the IP address? What is IP address? Is it a number or character? Number or character? Numbers. IP address is a numeric IP address. IP address is a numeric value. Every computer or system, every computer or system in a network, is identified with unique number called IP address. IP address. But generally, who gives this IP address? Who gives or IP address? Who gives? Not server here. IP address is given by network administrators. IP address is given by network administrator, right? Suppose you want to take net internet in your house. Who will come? Network person will come or not? Yes. He'll put a wire and he'll configure it by giving IP address. Who's giving this IP addresses? Not by you. You are not a network administrator, right? You are what? Software engineer. Your job is developing what? Softwares, applications, not giving IP addresses to the system. After joining in the company also, you don't give any IP addresses. You take the IP address. Okay. You don't give any IP address, right? So who will give this IP address? Network administrators. I think in networking subject you learn IP address classification A, B, C, D. I think you know it if you study. Otherwise, no problem. IP address means number. Katham. Okay, na? So every computer or system in network is identified with one unique number, and that unique number is called IP address. Okay. Yes. Then next question is what is a port number? Okay, na? So port number is so every project within server is identified with what is this unique number called which one here? Port number. Port number. Just try to understand. For example, assume that This is one system, right? I think you know it. Okay. So this is one system. In this system, this is one system. Okay. In this, I have a two databases are there. Two databases are there here. Two database applications. Means this is one database and this is one database. How many databases are there? Two are there. Okay. And each database, yes. So port number should be present for all different deployed on the same server. No, generally you can give different port number for each project. I'll tell you how to give that port number. Okay, na. See here, when I run this, here it is suppose in the browser. In the browser, which project is run? It is opened which project? Flipkart or not? Yes. If I have another project, will it open? Will it open or doesn't open? Doesn't open. Then how can I open another project? I should give another. I should give what? Another port number, not the same number, right? Because this number is already used by which project? Flipkart. If I develop Amazon, then Amazon is given same port or different port? Different port. Listen, yes? Okay, just try to understand. Now, each one is given one unique number. That is called as what? Port number. Is it clear, this one? All of you. Okay. So every project within server is identified with unique number called port number. Then who gives these port numbers? Programmer. Okay. Programmer or developer gives this port number. Okay. Yes. So this is about what is a physical path and what is a virtual path. Okay, then what is a URL? URL. See here, some terms are there, no? URL, URN, URN, and URI. So in internet, use some terms, right? URL, URN, URI. URL means uniform resource location. URN means uniform resource name. Name. URI means uniform resource identifier. Tell me, can you access a resource from web application directly? Can you access one resource from web application directly? Directly, can you access one resource from the web application? Can you access one resource from web application directly? Yes. If you know what path. If you know what path, virtual path, you should know it. Suppose you'll write www dot, suppose, assume that this is amazon.com, right? So in this, you have so many things. So many things are there or not? Yes. For example, here a lot of things are there. Suppose I just click on one category. Okay. I just click on one category. Here all are there, right? Okay. Suppose if I'm searching for which one? Mobiles. Okay, I search for which one? Mobiles. I just search for which one? Mobiles. See, this is a mobiles or not? Yes. Can I directly give the path? Can I give directly a path by saying Amazon, www.amazon.com/ what I'm writing here? What I'm writing here directly, which one? Mobiles. So, but it is saying what? Sorry. Because is it this path is correct or wrong? Wrong. This path is not correct, right? This path is what? Wrong. If you know the path, you can directly go to what? That particular resource. If you know the path, you can directly go to that particular resource. If you don't know the path, you cannot move it. Getting on not? So that is where a normal people and developers knows internal things related with what? Web application. Getting or not? Yes. Then next one is, next what I'm talking about is what is, okay, what is, okay, what is here, what is, okay, here web page. Now the question comes here is, what is web page? So tell me, what is web page? Now see here, I open the projects here. I open the project here. This project is having some resources or not? Yes. How can I access the resources? Are you created any interface? Are you created any interface? Are created or not created? not created. You have not created any interface. This resources, how you access it? This resources, how you access it? By using one interface. You need to develop what? User interface. You need to create one user interface. So what is a web page? What is a web page? What happened? For example, I'm typing www.amazon.com, right? I said amazon.com. Okay. Yes. I just write like this. Okay, amazon.com or amazon.in or anything. Okay. You just open it. Okay. Is it this is one interface is there or not? Yes. Okay, interface. This is an interface from which you access all the resources. Whatever resources are there in what? Amazon, you are accessing by using one interface. You are accessing by using one interface. This interface is called what? Web page. This is a web page or not? This is a web page or not? Yes, this is a web page. By using this web page, you are accessing what? Using this web page, what you are accessing? Resources. Whatever resources provided by your website or web application. So for your project, is it created any interface? No, not created, right? Then I have to create what? Interface. Then how can I create that interface? I'm creating that interface as one page, and that page is called which page? Web page. Getting or not? What do you say here? So what is web page? Okay, you tell me here. Web page is a user interface. Yes. UI. You'll say now you come into UI. User interface. You are creating one user interface to access the resources. You are creating a user interface to access the resources. So what is a web page? A web page is nothing but technically web page is a hypertext. Web page is what? Hypertext document. What is web page here? Hypertext document. Web page is an hypertext document which provides user interface. Which provide user interface to whom? It will provide user interface to whom? Users. Users means whom? Client or not? Client, users, end users, all these are one and the same or different? Same. Okay, now all these are one and the same. So web page is hypertext document which provide UI means user interface. User interface for accessing what? Resources. For accessing resources. Okay. So web page is a hypertext document which provides a UI user interface for accessing resources. Okay. Na? So it is a hypertext document. What it is? A hypertext document. Hypertext. See here, hyper means, yesterday I said no. Hyper means generally beyond. Hyper means over. नॉर्मल से ज्यादा रहे तो क्या बोलते हैं उसको? हाइपर बोलते हैं. Okay, if it is beyond. So what is hyper here? Beyond. Okay, hyper means what? Beyond. Okay, what is the meaning of it? Just to see here. If you see any website, right? Any website, if you see it, any website, okay. If you see any website, okay, now you can find some information or not. See, this web page is having some information or not? Information is there in this website? Yes. Is it complete information is there in this website? No, complete information is not there. complete information is not there. Suppose assume that now if you take this one, right? If you take this one here, what is this? What is this here? Today's deals are there. Today's deals. And what is this here? Mobiles. It is just displayed only mobiles, right? So what is mobiles here? Text. What is a mobiles here? Text. But beyond this text, some information is there or not? Yes. So what is a hypertext? A text beyond text. So see, what is the meaning of hypertext is, hyper means what? Yes, beyond. Beyond text, you find what? More information. That is called as which one? Hypertext. So everything inside the web page is represented as what? Hypertext. Everything is hypertext. You just click on it and get more information. If I click on mobiles, I'll get the information about what? Mobiles. If I click on today's deals, I'll get the information about what? Today's deals. But is it giving complete information or only hypertext? Hypertext. Only text is given. Complete information is not given. If you click on that text, beyond that, you'll get more information. That is what you mean by hypertext. Getting or not? So what is a web page is? A web page is a here. A web page is a hypertext document. Okay. Hyper means what? Beyond. So a web page contains the text beyond information. Beyond the text, some information is available. That is what you mean by hypertext. But for developing this web page, web page, you required one technology or not? Yes or no? For developing this web page, what you required? One technology, right? But this web page, whenever you talk about web page, you find different types of what here? Web pages. You find the types of web pages. You understood what is web page? All of you, yes or no? What is web page here? Hypertext document which provide user interface for accessing resources. How a end user access the resources of your web application from the browser? For that you should provide one interface or not? Yes. And that interface is called which one? Web page. Okay, clear? Then next, types of web pages. Types of web pages. You find two types of web pages. One is a static page. One more is a dynamic page. Static page is there and one more is a dynamic page. Okay. What is a static page? It is a page which responds same for every user. It responds same for every user. That is called which page? Static page. Means if I open one page, for me it is the same, for you it is the same, for all people it is what? Same. That is called what? Static. A page which responds same, which display the same information for all the people. That is called which one? Static. No, don't say that, Mukesh. So you cannot say HTML page is static. Okay, na? See, HTML is used for both static as well as what? Dynamic. You should not say HTML is static, JavaScript is dynamic, JSP, no, not like that. Okay, na? I'll tell you. So there is some conflict between the people, right? Okay, HTML is for only static, but any page you want to develop, okay, any page you want to develop, any web page you want to develop, you must use what? HTML. Okay, na? So what is a static page? Okay, static page. Okay, respond what here? Same. Respond same for every user. Every user is called as which page here? Static page. I mean, whose content doesn't changes from one user to another. A page whose content doesn't changes from one user to One user to what? Another user. Another user. Another user is called which page here? Static page. So web application contain web pages. Okay, na? Web application contain web pages. Timanshu, right? Okay. A static page, a page whose content doesn't changes, whose content doesn't change from one user to another user is called a static page. For example, if I open any website like assume that, okay, assume that I just open some website. Okay, tutorials font is there. Okay, if I open this, okay, this page will be what here? Same. You open, I open, anyone open. Is it this will be the same or changes? Same, same, right? Same. That is called as which one here? Static. Respond is same. Same information you'll get it. That is called as a static. W3 schools. Okay, no problem. All these might be examples for which one? Static. But when it comes to the dynamic page, it respond different for every user. It means the content of that page might be changes from one user to another. It respond differently. The content respond what differently. That you call it as which page? Dynamic page. Dynamic page. Okay, dynamic. What I'm saying is dynamic page. Okay, dynamic page. Okay, dynamic page respond. Okay, respond different from users. Different from users. Okay, different from users. That you call it as which page? Dynamic page. So static page and one more is what? Dynamic page. It doesn't respond same. It respond different from one user to another. For example, assume that. Can you tell me example for this? Login page. Login page is what? Static or dynamic? Dynamic. Login page is a static or dynamic? Dynamic. Why? Because if you log in, it respond according to your details. Okay, or assume that if you see result processing, result. Okay, you enter your hall ticket number. If you enter your hall ticket number, you get your information. Yes or no? You get your information. It means that page is a static or dynamic. Dynamic. So dynamic respond from one you. It give the response differently from each and every user. That page you call it as what? Dynamic. But for doing this dynamic pages, you require some server side programming. Okay. Generally, the static pages will have the extension like .html or okay, the static pages will have extension .html or .htm. The static pages are having extension .html or .htm. Okay, yes. Before entering it is static, but after responding it is what? Dynamic. Okay, yes, yes, here. Okay, so dynamic pages respond different from users, from one user to another. Generally, this dynamic pages required which technologies? Server side what? Technologies. Okay, but these dynamic pages will have the extensions like what? Suppose if you are a Java person, you'll have an extension what? JSP. Dot JSP. JSP means Java Server Page. JSP means what? Java Server Page. And you have an extension called which one? PHP. PHP, JSP, PHP. Okay, then ASPX. Okay, all these are which one? Or these are static or dynamic? Dynamic. JSP, PHP, ASP, ASPX. All these are called which one? Dynamic. All these are which one? Dynamic. Okay. Yes. But these will have extension different. But static pages will have extension HTML. Okay. Yes. Dynamic pages are having extensions like this. JSP means what? Java server page. ASP means active server page. This is written in Java. This is written in PHP. This is written in .NET. This is written in .NET. Okay. So that is called as a dynamic page. Is it clear, this one? What do you say here? Yes or no? Static, dynamic. Static means respond same. Dynamic means respond differently from different user. Yes or no? Suppose, for example, okay, if you see this book my show is there. Okay, book my show is there. If you open book my show, it is displayed this, right? What is this? Popular cities. Here Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chandigarh. Okay, all these things are there. Okay, because movies are same in all the cities, sir. No. Theaters booking changes from one city to another. Now you are here. You want to book ticket here only. Then what will I do? I select which one? Hyderabad. If I select Hyderabad, then what will happen? It will show you all the theaters and movies belongs to Hyderabad. It means this page is a static or dynamic. Huh? Content of this book my show is displayed based on the location or not? Yes. If the location is Hyderabad, then it is shows the movies belongs to Hyderabad and theaters belongs to Hyderabad. If I select Pune, then it will display the content belongs to what? Pune. So based on the selection, is it content is changing or not? Yes. So for all the people, it is same. Huh? Book my show is the same for all the cities? No. If I'm living in Pune, I select Pune, then I'll get movies belongs to Pune. Now, is it book my show? Page is a static or dynamic? Dynamic. It is not static. It is what? Dynamic. Understood? Understood or not? Okay, this is dynamic. If I say Pune, then I'll get movies which are there in what? Pune here. Okay, na? Okay, that is how. Now you select the city here. Select the city, Hyderabad. Then it shows all the movies belongs to Hyderabad here. Okay, na? But the content of this page is the same? No. It changes based on the city or not? Yes. Okay, that is called as which one? Dynamic. Clear? Clear or not clear, right? Okay. Then for developing this web page, online students, okay, for developing this web page, what do you required? What do you required? What do you required? One language. One language. What is that language? HTML. Now we are moving into HTML. Okay, na? Yes. Why we are using HTML? Why we are using web page for creating user interface for your web application or not? Yes. Without user interface, how can you access? You cannot access it, right? You have to create one interface, and I am creating that interface by using one language. What is that language? HTML. Okay. So what is HTML? Okay. Yes. Now question comes here. What is HTML? You know it very good. Hypertext markup language abbreviation. Okay, na? HTML stands for HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, it is a which language? Markup language. It is a markup language. It is what? Hypertext markup language. So here you have a terms, right? Hypertext means beyond text. Beyond text, find more information. That is called which one? Hypertext. Okay, then what is a markup? Markup is nothing but which define how to present. Markup means presentation. How to present these resources, or how to present, where to present image, where to present text, where to present what, that is defined by what? Markup. Markup defines what? Layout. Markup defines what? Layout of your web page. So hypertext markup. Markup represents what here? Presentation. How to present the text within the web page is defined by what? Markup language. Understood? What is hypertext? Beyond. What is markup? Presentation. What is markup? Presentation. How to present information within the web page is defined by which language? Markup language. Can you develop a web page without HTML? Tell me here. Can you develop web page without HTML? Yes or no? No. No, no, yes, sir. No. You cannot develop web page without HTML. Huh? Okay. I create one HTML here. Index.html. I just given index.html. And here I am writing, what is this? What I write here? Flipkart. Is it I am using any HTML? Using or not using? Not using. I'm not using any HTML. Okay, na? I just write here Flipkart. After this, I'll just go live. Now click on which one? Live. So already started, right? Okay. So where is this? This is your directory, right? I just refresh. What is the message? Flipkart. This is interface only, no? Is there use any HTML? Is it a used or not used? Not used. But is it pages created or not? Yes. With the message what? Flipkart. Suppose I want this Flipkart in the center. Then what will I do? I just put a space Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart. Okay, and here I want to put some message like Flipkart and today's what here? Deals. Okay, like this. I want to put some message because why I put in center? Because I want in the center in the what? Page. Okay. Then I put a space and I said what? Flipkart and then today's deals I put. Okay, na? Then save it. Browser. Send refresh. What happened? Centered? Centered or not centered? But you put in your page in what? Center. But is it centered or not centered? Not centered. Then I should format it or not? Yes. I should define the layout, where to display, what to display, how to display. This is defined by which language? Markup language. It is defined by which language? Markup language. Okay, na? Then it is not displayed here. It is displayed at the left only. But where I want in the middle. I want in the middle, right? Okay, then how can I put this in the middle of the page? I required one language or not? Yes. What is that language? Markup language. So HTML is what? Markup language which define what to present or where to present, or it define the structure or layout of the web page. Okay, these two terms you should know it. HTML abbreviation, even school kid also tell. But you should know what is hypertext and what is a markup. Hypertext means beyond text. What is markup? Define the structure or the layout of the web page. A language which defines the structure or layout of the web page, that language is called markup language. That language is called markup language. Okay, na? So markup language, okay, markup language defines, okay, what markup language define? The structure or layout, structure or layout of which one here? Web page. Okay, structure or layout of web page or markup language. Markup language defines the presentation of, defines the presentation. Define what here? Presentation. Okay, presentation. Defines the presentation. Means how to present the content. That is defined by which language? Markup language. Clear? Using HTML, will you develop static pages or dynamic? Both static as well as what? Dynamic. Okay, both static as well as dynamic. Now, I want to center. Then what will I do? What will I do? I don't write like this. I just take some tags, right? Suppose, example, for your understanding, I just put one tag. What is this tag? Division. Okay, here I'll write, what I'm writing, Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart. Then I put some break here and what I'm writing, today's what deals. Okay, today's deals I write like this. Okay, right. Okay, now will it this be a centered? No. Okay, this is not centered. Now you can see Flipkart, today's deals. But I want in the center. Then what will I do? I just use something like what? Align. I just write align. How you want to align? Center. That's it. Very easy. Okay. Yes. Once you refresh it, where it is in the middle. So this is markup or not? Yes. How to present? That is defined by which language? Markup language. So that is HTML is what? Markup language. It is not a programming language. Okay, na? What programming language provides? What pro? This is markup language, right? C is what? What is C? Programming language. C++ is programming language. Java is also programming. All these are programming languages, right? All these are programming languages or not? Yes. What programming languages define layout? Layout or structure? No. Programming languages are used, okay, to write the programs which require which are used to process what input data and giving some results or not. Yes, but HTML is only for presentation, presenting the data. You are presenting the data or information by using which language? HTML. Understood or not? Okay, HTML. But HTML, yes. Okay, so stands for hypertext markup language, and markup language define the structure or layout of the web page. Structure or layout of the web page. Okay, but HTML is yours. Okay, HTML. Okay, see, you are using how many technologies here as a part of UI. You are learning how many things? How many things you are learning? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. All this you are learning or not? Yes. Okay. So HTML is only for presentation. It is only for presentation, but styling is done by using CSS. Only for presentation. Okay, only for presentation, but styling is done by using CSS. Okay. Okay, CSS. And uh, if you want to make your HTML as what interactive, then use what JavaScript. Then what is a Bootstrap? CSS library. What is Bootstrap? CSS library. Okay, you should know because you are learning these technologies, right? What is HTML for? It is used for what? Creating a web page. Okay, you are creating web page using HTML. Then CSS is for what? CSS stands for what? Cascading, cascading style sheets. Style sheets. It is a sheet which provides some styles. Okay, now you select the style, apply it. Okay, this is for what? Styling. Styling which one? Web page. Styling the web page is done by using CSS. JavaScript for developing interactive to make your web page as what? Dynamic. Developing interactive what? Web page. Suppose you develop a login. You enter username and password, click on sign in. Then I want verify that username password is entered or not. Then how can I verify it? I can go for which one? JavaScript. Is it JavaScript is a client side or server side? Is it JavaScript is a client side or server side? Client side. JavaScript is what? Client side. These programs get executed within the browser. Okay. Bootstrap. What is a bootstrap is? CSS. CSS what? Library. It means rather than you create the styles, you will try to use what? Predefined styles. Okay, so Bootstrap is a CSS library. If you know CSS, then use the existing libraries. For example, in programming also same thing will happen or not? Yes. In programming languages, what do you do it? Will use the libraries or not? Yes. Libraries makes it application development what? Easy. Now, rather than you create a style, you try to use what? Existing styles provided by whom? Bootstrap. You understood what you are learning? How many things you are learning? Four. What is the first one? HTML. Second is CSS. Third one is JavaScript. Fourth one is Bootstrap. HTML is for creating web page. CSS is for cascading style sheets, which is for styling web page. Styling means applying some formats. Okay. So this can be done by using CSS. JavaScript is for developing interactive web page. Bootstrap is library. That's it. Okay, na? Right. Anything want to ask? Only this I'm teaching. Not Angular is not a part of this, and React also not a part of this. Okay, na? Right. Then next is, I think you understood how you develop an interface. Now, see, always every web site or web application will have one page you have starting page of your web application or web site. What is the name of that page you'll give? What is the name of that page is called? Index page. Index. Yes or no? You go, you search in what? Index. Whichever information you want, you see in what? Index. The first page what you get in your website is called which page? Index page. But this page, are you opening? No. This page is open. Is it this page is open automatically or not? Yes. See here. See here. I just close. I close the browser. I close the browser here. Okay. I closed it. I closed this one. Okay. I stop the server. See if the server is not displayed, right? This bar is there. No, just click on this. You find all the things related with this. In this, you have which one? Live server. Live server means your server is running or not. Yes. Here, if it is not shown, right? Here, if it is not shown, what you can do? You can just click on this. You just click on this. Bootstrap is for responsive also, right? Yes. That you learn again here. But I just given it is for CSS. It is a CSS library. Okay. So this is a live server. Okay. Yes. What I'm doing it, I just click on this. But already your application is live or not? Yes. Then what do you do it? Open the, what do you open? Browser. Open the browser and type what? And what do you type here? URL. How you type the URL? HTTP. Tell me. Where your server is running in? 127.0.0.1 colon double three double three double five double five double zero double five double zero. Is it open? Which resource? Are you given any resource name? Are you given any resource name or directly open index? Directly open index. But here it is shown index.html here. No, it is not shown. Some because of some security reasons, nowadays some pages extensions will not be shown, right? You can see directly open index. Suppose assume that I change the name from index.html to some other name. Some other name I'll give it. What is the name I'm giving? Some home.html. What is the name I've given? Home.html. Now open the server. Okay, here I'll say refresh. What happened? What happened? Is it open this page or not open? Not open. So for my application, I develop a interface or not? Yes. But is interface is opened or directory is open? Directory is open. But interface is opened or not open? Not open. Because my interface name is what? Home.html. If it is home.html, I need to call by saying slash, what is that? Home.html. Now, is it displayed home.html or not? Yes. Getting on it. It means always if you move your application, if you open the application with your local server, always a local server search for which page? Always a local server or remote server or any server search for which page? Index page. It will search for which page? Index page here. Index.html. If I give this as a index.html, are you giving any resource name? Or tell me here, are you giving any resource name? Are you giving any resource name or directly you are giving URL? Directly you are giving URL without resource name. Resource name without resource name is called URL. URL, URI. Okay. But name is not given. But directly it is open which page? Or it is open which page? Index.html. Are you given any name of this? No, not given, right? Is it browser can execute only HTML or any other thing? Browser understand what? Browser understand what? Anything can I open in the browser or only HTML pages? Anything. Means within the browser I can open images. Within the browser I can open PDFs. Within the browser I can open what? Audio, video, all this. Can I open in the browser or not? Yes. Don't say that browser always understand only HTML. No. Browser understand so many content, different types of content. Understand by which one? Browser. Okay, because always the end user interact with your application by using what? Browser, because you are developing which application? Web application. Web application, and always end user communicate with the web application using one piece of software. And what is that software? Browser. Okay. You know different types of browsers are there or not? Yes. You find Internet Explorer, you find Mozilla, you find Firefox, Google, Chrome. All these are what? Browsers. All these are the browsers which are required to communicate with what? Web application. Okay. So always now you have to know it. What is a browser? Come on here. What happened? What is browser? Browser is a software. Software or hardware? Software. Come on. If suppose interview go, suddenly ask what is browser? Silent. ये क्या है नो इंटरव्यू में ब्राउजर पूछ रहा है. Yes or no? You never expect, right? What is browser? Daily use browser. Daily use a browser, but you don't know what is a browser. Browser. Okay, na? So suddenly if a person asked, then you'll find difficult to answer it. Yes or no? But you should know some technical terms or not. Yes. A browser is a, what is a browser? Is a software. Browser is a software. Software used to communicate with what? Web application. To communicate with the web application. So you can say browser is which software? Browser is which one? Client software. A client, it is called as browser is a thin client. Thin, it is called as which client? Thin client software. Thin client means, thin means mediator. I want to open browser. You open browser. You open browser. Suppose I want to open web application. You open web application? No, you don't open web application. You ask one mediator. What is this mediator? Browser. So browser is called as what? Thin client. It means it is a mediator between the client and application or server. It is a mediator between the end user and what? Server. I use this browser and communicate with what? Server or application. It is called as which client? Thin client. Browser is called as a thin client. And browser is able to understand any browser is able to, or browser is able to open what? Any what here? Content like what? HTML, images, okay, audio, okay, video, all this can be done by which one? Browsers. Example example of this browsers. What is the example? Google what? Google Chrome. Next is what? What is the next one? Edge. Microsoft Edge is yes or no? Then next is Mozilla Firefox. Okay, Mozilla Firefox. All these are browsers. So you required a browser. Okay, you required a browser to communicate. Opera, Safari, yes. All these are different browsers. Tell me the name of the first browser. Huh? Somebody is saying Internet Explorer. Name the first browser. Yahoo. Yahoo. Yahoo is a browser. Site. Browser only. Okay. Ask a question. What is the first browser? W. What is the first browser? Netscape Navigator. Okay. What is the first browser? Is a Netscape Navigator. Okay. That is the first browser. Netscape Navigator. Okay. Okay. Netscape Navigator. Say Netscape Navigator. Okay. This is the first browser actually. So Netscape Navigator. It is the first browser. Okay. Yes. This is a complete history of which one? Browser. Okay. Okay, na? So just to try to understand. But these are simple only, but you should have a knowledge of it, right? Yes. So that is about browser. Let me move in detail on this HTML. Okay, I think you understood. Or up to this you understood or not? Huh? Yes. How you access your web application from browser. Okay, browser only. Okay, browser only. But if you want to access your web application from mobile, mobile app, can you access your web application from mobile app? In that case, your app should be what? Distributed. It should be what? Distributed, not web. It is what? Distributed application. Okay, na? Right? But always a web application you will try to open within what? Browser. Okay. Yes. Then we'll just move into a small history of what? HTML. Okay, because you are learning HTML and you must know what? History. History of HTML. Who developed? Why developed? When developed? Okay, versions of HTML. Who maintain HTML? What are the standards of HTML? All this you learn as a part of history of HTML. Anyway, today I'll not tell you history of HTML, but I'll tell you history of HTML tomorrow. Tomorrow class is there. Okay. So tomorrow I'll tell you what is the history of HTML. Don't miss the classes because all of you, all these classes are regular classes only. Okay, na? Are you listening? These classes are regular classes. These are not demo classes. For you might be demo classes, but is it I'm repeating yesterday's class again? No. Okay, na? So these are regular classes and you must attend the classes regularly. Okay, na? And I'll be uploading these notes in my Telegram. Okay, join this my Telegram, right? Last 2 days classes I uploaded already. Today's class notes also I'll upload it. Okay, na? Right. I'll upload it along with now. Yes. All of you, is it clear? Everyone. This is my Telegram group. Okay. Tomorrow also class is there, same time. Same time only. No changes in timing. Same time. 9:15 I'll start. Okay, na? Right. Today we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue. Right. Thank you. Right. Are you type like this here? You'll get it. Code with Satish Gupta. Some 13,000 students are there. Okay. Right. Yes. Mohan Reddy, tell me what is your doubt? I am I'm from non-technical background, so no problem here. What is the problem? HTML is very simple. Okay. For learning HTML, you don't require any technical knowledge. You require just English. Okay, na? Right. No prerequisites. Pratik. No prerequisites for learning HTML. Okay, you don't require anything. Okay. How to pay the fees? Your admin will be there. I think admin is given his name, his number. You ask him. Akhil. Admin, you ask. So this is a telegram where I post the notes. This is a telegram where I post the notes. Please join this telegram. Okay. Yes, I'll clarify. Don't worry. Okay. Browser is a software. What is a browser is a software. Okay, na? I'll clarify. If I see it, definitely I'll clarify. Okay, na? We'll discuss two projects. Okay, thank you. Okay, no problem. Arey, Mayank, no problem. You can join. No problem. Okay, you can join and you can put some experience and you can move as a web developer. But you need to learn some more technologies, Mayank. Not HTML, only HTML, CSS, JavaScript is not enough. You learn React and other things also. Yeah, I'll ask and I'll provide. Once you start, I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, possible, I'll upload. Okay. No, no, not Angular because this is not Angular is not a part of your course, right? Angular is not part of your course. Okay. Based on HTML, CSS, I'll tell you. Based on HTML, CSS, I'll discuss. Okay. Angular, React, you have to do it. Mayank. Angular JS, React, Node. If you do all this, then getting job becomes easy for you. Okay. You download that is VS Code. Download VS Code software. Shiva. You have to download VS Code software. Okay, now. No, no. Angular is not part of this. Angular is not part of this. Okay. Angular is not part of this. ఫస్ట్ లో అడుగుతాను ఒకవేళ ఉంటే ఇస్తాను. Okay, right? So, yeah, all of you. So, but Angular is a part of our course, right? But in this session, you don't have Angular. Angular, you'll have separate session. Those who are having Angular React, you'll have a separate session for this. Those who are having Angular and React, you'll have a separate session for this. Okay. Not in this session. Another faculty, another faculty, another faculty. నోట్ ప్యాడ్ లో రాసుకోవచ్చు కానీ ఎడిటర్ కావాలి కదా. నోట్ ప్యాడ్ లో ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయవచ్చా? చేయలేం కదా. కంపల్సరీ ఎడిటర్ కావాలి. విఎస్ కోడ్ అనేది సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎడిటర్, అది దాంట్లో ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాస్తాం. HTML లాంగ్వేజ్. ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్ చూసి మనం వెబ్ పేజ్ని డెవలప్ చేస్తున్నాం, అంతే కదా. ఆ? ఒక లెటర్ రాయాలంటే నీకేం కావాలి? పేపర్ రాయాలి. పేపర్లో ఏం రాస్తావు? ఇంగ్లీష్లో రాస్తావు, తెలుగులో రాస్తావు, ఏదైనా లాంగ్వేజ్. అలాగే విఎస్ కోడ్ అనేది ఎడిటర్, పేపర్ లాగా. ఏదైనా ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలంటే ఎక్కడ రాస్తాం? విఎస్ కోడ్లో రాస్తాం. హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం? వెబ్ పేజ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. దేనికి? వెబ్ పేజ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, యూజర్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకేనా? వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేయడానికి, వెబ్సైట్ని డెవలప్ చేయడానికి మనం హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? లోకల్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది? లోకల్ సర్వర్నే ఉంది కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఇది అర్థం చేసుకోండి, అది తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఆ? ఇదే ఇప్పుడు నీకు అర్థం అవుతలేదు. క్లౌడ్ అంటే ఇక కథమే. ఆ? తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఇంటర్నెట్ లో అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుంది, లేకుంటే మన సిస్టమ్ లో అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుంది. ఏంటిది? ఇంటర్నెట్ లో రాలేదు, అది బ్రౌజర్ లో ఓపెన్ చేసాను అంతే. ఏంటిది? అవును, అది ఎక్కడ ఉంది? సేమ్ సిస్టమ్, దీంట్లోనే ఉంది. లోకల్ సిస్టమ్, లోకల్ సర్వర్, అడ్రస్ ఆఫ్ లోకల్ సర్వర్ అది. ఓకేనా? ఓకేనా? ఏంటి రిపీట్? యూనిక్, యూఆర్ఎల్ అంటే యూనిఫామ్. అర్థమైందా? యూనిఫామ్ అంటే ఒకటి రిపీట్ అవ్వాలి. ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ అంటే సేమ్, సేమ్ అంటే యూనిక్, ఒకటే విధంగా ఉండాలి, యూనిక్ గా ఉండాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ అనేది ఆల్రెడీ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ వాళ్ళు యూజ్ చేస్తాడు, నువ్వు మళ్ళీ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ అనే నేమ్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చా? చేయలేదు. నీకు ఫోన్ నెంబర్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, అదే ఫోన్ నెంబర్ నాకు ఇవ్వచ్చా? ఇవ్వలేం కదా. Yes, yes. ఆ రూల్స్. దేంట్లో? ఎందుకు జాంగో నేర్చుకోండి, జాంగో నేర్చుకోండి, జాంగో జాబ్స్ సెర్చ్ చేయండి, చాలా ఉండేవి. జాంగో ఫ్లాస్క్, చాలా జాబ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు జావా అన్నారండి, పుట్టి జావాకు ఉన్నాయా? పుట్టి జావా నేర్చుకుంటే ఉన్నాయా జాబ్? లేదు. ఏం నేర్చుకోవాలి? ఫుల్ స్టాక్ జావా నేర్చుకోవాలి, అవునా కదా? అంటే మీరు ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ నేర్చుకోవాలి. మరి మరి అదే అంటున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు కంపెనీస్ దే ఆర్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ డెవలపర్స్ అన్న. ఓకేనా? అన్ని టెక్నాలజీ తెలిసి ఉండాలి. ఓకే, యూ సర్చ్ ఫర్ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ పైథాన్, ఫుల్ స్టాక్ పైథాన్ ఆర్ జాంగో ఫ్లాస్క్, యూ ఫైండ్ సో మెనీ జాబ్స్. ఓకేనా? నేను చెప్తాను. ఓకేనా? అంటే వీళ్ళు ఇంకా ఆ ప్లేస్మెంట్ స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు. కంపెనీస్ వస్తాయి, కంపెనీస్ వస్తే మీకు ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేస్తారు. ఓకేనా? కానీ ఆ, ఇది 100% ఇది ఉంది కదండి, అట్లాంటిది ఏం స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి. అట్లాంటి స్టార్ట్ చేశారనుకోండి, ఆ పోస్టర్లు కూడా వస్తాయి. ఓకేనా? సో అట్లేం లేదు, అట్లేం లేదు, అట్లేం లేదు. వీళ్ళు కంపెనీస్ అప్రోచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు, వీళ్ళు వస్తే కంపెనీస్ వస్తాయి, వీళ్ళు చెయ్యట్లేదు. ఓకేనా? జాబ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, కంపెనీస్ ఉన్నాయి, కానీ వీళ్ళు అప్రోచ్ అయ్యి తీసుకురావాలి. ఆ కంపెనీస్ తీసుకొచ్చారనుకోండి, మిమ్మల్ని ప్లేస్ చేసేయచ్చు. సో ఎప్పుడైతే కంపెనీస్ వీళ్ళని అప్రోచ్ చేస్తున్నా అప్పుడే ప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నారు వీళ్ళు పైథాన్ వాళ్ళని. ఓకేనా? పవర్ బై చెప్పినప్పుడు దాంట్లో చెప్తారు మీకు. అవసరం లేదు, అవసరం లేదు. వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు మీరు, ఇంకా అట్లాంటి జాబ్స్ ఇంకా ఈజీగా వెళ్ళవచ్చు. జావా ఇదంటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ చాలా టఫ్ ఉండదు. అవునండి, అవును. వాళ్ళు ఎలాగో మీరు నేర్చుకోని అన్నా కూడా చెప్తారు వాళ్ళు. మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు డేటా సైన్స్ వెళ్ళారనుకోండి, ఫస్ట్ ఏం చెప్తారు? 1 మంత్ పైతేనే ఉంటుంది. అవునా కదండి? ఓకే. ఇది HTML కాదు, పైథాన్ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ పైథాన్. ఓకే. వీళ్ళు వీళ్ళు చేయట్లేదు, వీళ్ళు చేయట్లేదు. మీరు అప్లై చేసుకోవచ్చు కానీ వీళ్ళు చేయట్లేదు. ల్యాబ్ రిలయన్స్ ఫ్రెష్ ఉంది, సో మీరు దాంట్లో 6th ఫ్లోర్. ఓకే.